because it's not specific. Is that fair? Oh, you're muted, Andrew.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's correct. All right, awesome. Gary, go ahead, take it away, man. I'll put 5 minutes on clock for you.
Okay. So basically, it comes down to this. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is. We all want to know why some guys are the richest people, why some guys have money, why some guys have looks, why some women have it all. We always want to know why that happens. And because of that, some people go into religion, and there's a lot of different religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam. People want answers, and I was no different than anyone else. And then on 9/11/2001, my life changed. I woke up in the morning, and I thought I was watching Die Hard, the movie, when the Twin Towers got hit. And what actually I discovered was actually really, really shocking to me at the time. I started looking at all the synchronicities of that event, and it made me think, one time, okay, 2 times, maybe, but all these synchronicities, and let me go through some of these synchronicities for you. 9/11, which is probably the biggest event in human history this century, happened on the 11th. The first plane that hit the World Trade Center was Flight 11. The Twin Towers look like an 11 side by side. They both have 110 stories. And I'm like, wow. And then I saw that New York City, 11 letters. New York's 11th state in the Union. Afghanistan, 11 letters. We attacked Afghanistan, 10/7/2001. Take away the zeros, 1721. Again, 11. So I'm looking at all this, and I'm trying to think, why am I seeing all these 11s? Am I going crazy? What's going on? But see, I was always fascinated by history. And I remembered that the Great War, World War I, ended on 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock. Not 10:55, but exactly 11. And at that point, I didn't know what was going on. But I saw smoke, and I started looking for the fire. And then I understood that these people that we talk about that run the world, the cabal, all these people, the Illuminati, I started understanding what they were doing. They were actually using numerology and astrology against the people while they're telling the people to look into Qurans and Bibles and Torahs and Talmuds. Because they want to keep the knowledge to themselves, and they want all the quote-unquote sheep goyim to look at the religion. So what I basically started discovering was, okay, if this is just one thing, it doesn't mean anything. But then I found out that Al-Qaeda was founded on the 11th. And then I found out Al-Qaeda's 3 biggest attacks, not just in America on 9/11. They had one in Madrid, Spain on 3/11. It was called Europe's 9/11 at the time. And then they had one in Mumbai, India on guess what day? The 11th. So at that point, when you start seeing all these events happen synchronistically on the same day, you start understanding that people are actually doing stuff that other people aren't getting. And the fact of the matter is, if you take it from a mathematical statistical probability, we're talking in the millions that all that stuff would line up. So then I'm starting to think, okay, maybe it's just one thing. And then I started looking at the events. I wanted to know why some of the richest people in the world had money. And then I discovered 28's the number of wealth. Elon Musk is born on the 28th. Richest man in the world, not named Rothschild, not named Putin, not named Rockefeller. On paper, the richest man in the world, born on the 28th. But that doesn't mean anything, just one guy. But see, the guy he replaced, who was the richest guy in the world last decade, was Bill Gates, born on the 28th. And then you start looking at the list of the richest people in the world, and you see 3 of the 7 richest guys are born on the 28th. And you start going down the list like, okay, what is going on? And then I got this Rolex on. I challenge anyone watching right now to pull up ads on Rolex. And you can see every time they have a commercial, they have a 28 in the logo. So at that point, you have to understand that numbers symbolize vibrational energy that we cannot see, that we cannot hear. And it's basically, if you believe in a God, it's the prime creator's language. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Understand that people who rule over us believe in this. And you have to understand that if they believe in this, it's something that you have to look out for. It's something that you have to look into before you dismiss. When I look at certain numbers, they mean different things. If someone's born on the 5th, 14, 23rd, there's a high chance they're going to be extremely good looking because 5 is the number of looks. And you don't have to take my word for it. See, that's the thing. I don't ask for faith like these Christians and like these Muslims. I don't ask for your faith. I ask for your logic. I ask for you to show common sense. Go on your Facebook accounts or whatever it is and start looking up all your friends.
10 seconds.
4, 15, 16, and you will see this for yourself. And I will pass on, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this.
All right. Cool. So, Gary, real quick, if I could summarize your argument for the audience, and I'll kind of just summarize the whole preamble before we get into the actual formal debate. And by the way, guys, quick little housekeeping. If you guys are first time here, subscribe to these 2 gentlemen. Okay. Andrew Wilson, Gary, the numbers guy. Subscribe to them on YouTube. They're on all the platforms. Obviously, like the video if you're watching on YouTube or on Myron Gaines X. And yeah, we'll get into the next one. So let me go ahead and summarize. So Andrew's preamble was basically you want a specific prediction 90 days. It's all chance-based outcomes. It's sorcery. And then Gary's was there are connections that are inevitable concerning 9/11. You used the event of 9/11 to substantiate that, and you gave many different instances where 11 came up. Then you talked about the number of wealth, Elon, Bill Gates, and then basically that religion is a grift to keep people from the power of numerology. Would that be fair to say, Gary?
Correct.
All right, we'll go on to round
I will
one.
be making those predictions later on, no doubt.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. We got that summarized. I hope you guys are enjoying it. These are obviously 2 really bright guys, so sometimes I have to just distill it for the people that might have just walked in. So I'll turn it back to Andrew for round 1 of the actual debate. It's going to be 7 minutes open dialogue chat. So go ahead, guys. Timer's on.
Yeah, Gary, can you make a hyper-specific, based on my testing model, can you make a hyper-specific prediction? Hang on. Let me ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make a hyper-specific prediction for us, which would include names, dates, times, place?
No problem, my friend.
Okay, can you go ahead and do that and show us the method?
Yeah, but let me talk a little bit so I can explain the methodology to it. We're going to start with astrology. And I don't do astrology like these women tell you Mercury is retrograde. I don't do that. I focus on something, the Chinese astrology, the Vietnamese astrology, because it's much more accurate. And in Vietnamese astrology, there are 12 signs. And every sign has an enemy. Okay, and we'll go down to it. The snake is enemies with the pig. And in January 29th this year, the year the snake starts. So what does that actually mean? That means the people who are born in snake years, like Kai Cenat, are going to take over. That means people who are born in snake years are going to actually be the top stars in 2025. But it also means something else. This is something you're going to enjoy. It means that some people are going to be in their downfall. And people born in 1983, 1995, like XQC, Logan Paul, it's going to happen this year that they're going to have major downfalls. I'm making that prediction right now. They will have awful years.
Hang on,
let me finish you. And then I'm going to make this prediction right now. Elon Musk will be thrown out of the Trump administration by the end of 2025 because Elon Musk is born 1971, the year of the pig. This is the year of the snake, and he will get humbled. And you're going to see how this system works because I'm going to love seeing this replayed by the end of the year. That is a specific prediction. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, will be thrown out of the Trump administration in 2025. Do you need anything any more specific, sir?
Yes. So the thing is that what you're doing is, and this is a parlor trick as well. You're taking known celebrities like Logan Paul, people like this. You say, well, they're going to have some trouble this year. Well, yeah. Again, you're hiding in the vagueness. And when you say things like Elon Musk will be thrown out of the Trump administration,
that's a specific prediction.
Hang on. I didn't even interrupt you, dude. Just calm down. So anyway. When you do this, you live in the vagueness. When you make a political prediction like this, right, there's enough background where I think that most people are making the affirmative political prediction that Trump may get thrown out of office. What I'm asking you for is not for that. I'm not asking you for to give us knowns. I'm asking you to give us unknowns. So what I'm asking for is if you can give us a hyper-specific prediction based on people you don't know and events that we would ordinarily be unable to predict.
How exactly do you want me to take Joe Schmo off the streets? How's that going to prove anything? No one knows who he is. We have to take
that
people.
That's why it would be the proof.
But we don't know how we're going to prove that. We're going to say the guy next door.
I'm sorry, numerology can't make a prediction that.
I don't know the man's birthday.
Hang on. I'm not even if you can't specifically name the people, you could say something like, okay, a father, his daughter in New York on this day. It's going to be a big news story. They're going to get kidnapped. Blah 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 blah. You can do it. You can do it that way. So then, how does numerology do anything except give us? Hang on. Let me ask the question. How does it give us anything other than what I call what is called post hoc justification? You retroactively go back and through vagueness, you make a justification for the vague thing that you said. This makes it a not very good predictive model because all you're doing is going with a political trend. Most of the political trends say that Elon Musk will likely be thrown out of the Trump administration. And then when it comes to the polls, you just very vaguely said, well, Andrew, bad things will happen. So how about this? Tell me the specific bad thing and date it will happen on.
You want exact dates? What do you think? I'm psychic?
No one
claimed I was psychic, sir. No one claimed. You want me to predict when someone's going to get a heart attack? I'm not God, sir.
So
this is not how this works. I'm not going to give you the lottery number, sir. This is not how that works.
So how does it work?
What I can tell you is,
you're yelling really loud, man.
If you short Tesla stock, you're going to make a bag because Elon Musk is in his enemy year. It's very simple, sir. You just have to understand. Some people know when their peak is going to hit and when it's not. So you were talking about sports betting, sir. I like how you talked about that because you know the only real prediction about sports betting is if you win. And sir, I got thrown out of a casino in Atlantic City for winning $1.2 million in a year off sports betting, not blackjack. I'm not here to sell you fantasies that you can beat blackjack or you can beat some card games or you can do some garbage like that. I'm not going to tell you that. But what I will tell you is this: you can take someone's birthday and find out if they're going to have a good year or a bad year, good day or bad day. No, I can't predict if someone's going to die on a certain day, sir. I'm not that skilled, and no numerologist in history ever has. I'm telling you my limitation.
Is anybody ever allowed to talk except you?
Well, you've just been talking for a while, sir.
I barely said anything. So anyway,
you're basically trying to
back to that. You still refuse to allow me to speak. So anyway, back to this. If it's true that you can only make a vague prediction that, well, I don't know, Jake Paul, bad thing going to happen to Jake Paul this year, a vague prediction, right? Anybody can make that vague prediction. Also, people who do not utilize numerology in any way, shape, or form, also, I'm sure, won $1.2 million in casinos around the same time you did. You are using a correlative fallacy and saying that because I won X amount of money, this is due to my system of numerology. However, other people win money and use no such system of numerology.
Very few people, sir. Very few people win that type of money.
Okay, so therefore it's set up. No, professional gamblers do win that kind of money. And the thing is it is set up in such a way as for you to make the confirmation bias, post hoc justification. No, I won this money, not because I win it the way other people do by using sports predictive models. Rather, I use this numerology system that other people don't use and also win money. When you talk about celebrities like Jake Paul or Logan Paul or people like this, I want the specifics. And if your model can't predict that, why can't it? Why can it predict that bad thing will happen to them, but cannot be specific about when the bad thing will happen? Why can't it? Why?
Because this system isn't based on what you believe and what you want to believe in. It's based on logic and sense, sir. That's why. See, you don't make the rules here. You don't actually make the rules here. Here's basically how it works. Donald Trump is born 6/14. Donald
Just
Trump
7 minutes, guys.
Is a strong military president. Do you agree that? Would you agree with that?
No.
You don't agree that Donald Trump is strong with the military and a conservative?
Real quick, guys, before we go into, because I see we're going into another thread here. We just hit the 7-minute mark. I think given the nature of the conversation from me observing it, I think it's best to go to rounds. But what we'll do, since the nature of your guys' debate styles kind of to question each other, how about this? We'll go 120 seconds, 60 to 120 seconds uninterrupted. And that way it can be more of a rapid fire back and forth. So you guys still get to enjoy that dialogue without having to feel like you're getting cut off. Fair?
Whatever you think.
You guys okay with that? Just me, this is me observing from a totally objective way. So what I'll do is we'll go into round 2. Do you guys want 120 seconds or 60?
120 is fine.
You go with that, Andrew, or do you want less?
Sure.
Okay, so Andrew, I'll turn it to you. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, and if you're done, and you yield your time, just let me know so I can let Gary have it. And I'll give you a 10-second warning. Go ahead.
Notice how I said in my opening statement that it is through vagueness that these people operate, and the reason that they can only do it through vagueness is for the post hoc justification. He says to use logic, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm a logician. And so what I'm doing is I'm applying a fallacy, and the fallacy is a ad hoc justification fallacy. So it's actually fallacious thinking in and of itself. What he's doing is retroactively going back and saying, see, I made this prediction, I was right. But what was really the prediction? The prediction is bad thing going to happen to celebrity you know, but just think of it from a chance perspective. Bad things are almost inevitably this year going to happen to most celebrities. They may not even be catastrophic. Remember, he didn't say it's a catastrophic thing which is going to happen. He didn't say that it was career ending. He didn't say anything like, he didn't give you a single specific, just kind of bad thing going to happen. Why can't this model associate, if it can make a prediction like that, why can't it give you specifics? And if it can't, then it's a really bad predictive model. That intuition itself and predictive prowess should be able to trump with ease just based on following the career of this particular celebrity. If he can give you nothing better, no specific, no date, no time, if it's catastrophic, non-catastrophic, the specific of what catastrophic means, the model is worthless, right? And there's no reason for anybody to follow it. Why would you ever follow such a model? It's insane. With that, I'll yield my time.
All right, that was a minute 30, so I have 30 seconds on the clock. Go ahead, Gary. I'll put 2 minutes on the clock for you.
When you look at statistical analysis, which is mathematics, you can apply that to anything in life, including numerology. And when you start looking at history, that's the best way to tell the future. 2025 is 2025, a universal 9-year. The year adds up to 9. We're also in the year of the snake. So we can go back in history and say, okay, what has happened in past year of the snakes that added up in 9? Well, we can go back to 1953. 1953 adds up to a 9 in total. That was the year of the snake, and we had a truce in the Korean War. It ended. Then we can go back to 1989, the year of the snake that added up to a 9. The Berlin Wall came down. So I can make a prediction in 2025, which is a universal 9-year, that wars will end based off what I have just shared with you guys now. So I can make a prediction right now that the war in Ukraine and the war in Gaza will end in 2025 because it's a universal 9-year and a snake year, and I've shown you the past correlations. So whatever this man says, it's all nonsense because you can go back in the past and see if this stuff works. So I am making specific predictions, sir, that the war in Ukraine will come to an end in 2025 and the war in Gaza will too. And with that, I'll yield my time, sir.
Yeah. So again, look at what's being done here, right? So he says, I can make a prediction that wars which political and analysis already is making the prediction is going to end in 2025. That Zelensky's already suing for peace, that the likelihood that when Trump comes in the administration, he's going to sue for peace between these two nations. It's a very easy prediction to make. Many political analysts are making such predictions. But let me remind you that there's still no specifics. How will it end? Is Trump going to be the architect of how it ends? Or is one side going to win over the other? Or is one side going to surrender? Or is there going to be a weapon shortage and that ends it? Or. Simply making the vague generalization of it ending. And by the way, there's not even a specificity of what he means by end. Does he mean, oh, it's going to ramp down and then retroactively and post hoc say, well, see, I predicted it was ramping down. And so it did technically end. How about even specifics there? When it ends, what's the date going to be? I don't know. How is it going to end? I don't know. What's the mechanism for how it ends? I don't know. Okay, well, when you say end, does that mean all troops will be gone and out of there? I don't know. Does that mean, what does that mean? What does that even mean? Like, it doesn't really tell us anything. It's inside of this vagueness where all of this lies and why it can't be trusted. It's no different than me making, right now I could say, okay, well, my prediction as a political analyst is that it likely won't end. It'll probably go on for another year or two, right, because it's not going very well, blah, blah, blah. I could say all of this. I'm not. I'm just saying I can, right? And it's in the specificity is where I would really be wrong or where I'd be right. Where are these specifics? They're nowhere. They're nowhere. And this is why it is that this cannot be a trusted system as a predictive model. It's too vague. Too vague. And then you can just retroactively go back and say, but based on this, I can say, well, this war ended and this war ended and this war ended. And it's like, well, yeah, wars end. That's how they can't be sustained forever. Trump also being an anti-war president seems like a pretty good bet. All right, go ahead.
Okay, real quick. So just so I can recap, because I see that the views are coming up and a lot of people joined in the middle. If you guys don't mind me doing a quick recap. So if you're just joining the stream, guys, welcome to the stream. We have Gary, the numbers guy, and Andrew Wilson having a fantastic debate on numerology and astrology. We started with a preamble where they both gave their positions. Andrew's position is numerology and astrology is sorcery. It's based on chance outcomes and it is not specific. Gary retorted with the number 11 and how things are connected and how it's irrefutable to see all the connections from certain events. Then we went into round 1, which is a 7-minute open dialogue where Andrew asked Gary to make a specific prediction. Gary made the prediction that Trump will get rid of Elon before the end of this year. And then we just completed round 3 just now. They're going back and forth with in regards to specificity. So Gary, I'll give it to you, and I think this is going to be the top of the 4th round here, if I'm not mistaken. So
I'm gonna respond to what he says.
Okay, I got 2 minutes on the clock.
See, when it comes down to this, people who think like this, they always want more and more and more. They can't find a better system than what I'm doing in the predictions I'm putting out there. But if it's not like, oh, if I can't get it to the decimal, I must be wrong. So I'll give you an example of how this works. I can predict what team is going to win a game, okay? He wants me to predict how many points, how many assists, how many steals someone's going to have. If not, that's not valid. Sir, that might not be valid to you specifically. But for people out there, that's enough. And here's what I'm going to say about everything else. Numerology is basically math. Men lie. We both know women lie, but numbers never lie. And the fact of the matter is this. If I make a prediction, I make a mistake if it's not right. The numerology is not wrong. That practitioner makes the mistake, not the numerology itself. I gave specific predictions that the war would end in 2025. Now, we're just here, and you haven't heard me before, but I said this last year, and I said the year before that. I said Trump would win in a landslide. I said all this stuff, and it all happened, okay? It's very simple. What I'm telling you is going to go on next year is, specifically, people who are born in 1989, 2001, 2013, they will have positive years because snakes do well in snake years. Now, people who are born in 71 are going to have off years. Justin Trudeau, born 1971, the year of the pig, has just announced he is resigning as Prime Minister of Canada. If you understand how the system works, he is born in the pig year. This is coming a snake year. He is going to lose his power in his enemy year. Guess what? That's not the only time in history that happens. You have to do the homework. You can't be lazy like this individual say, oh, it doesn't say this.
2 minutes.
He doesn't know anything about numerology.
Fair enough. So real quick, Andrew, we just completed 3 rounds here. Do you want to take a break to read your super chats and I do the same on my end, and then we get right back into the 4th?
Can we do one more follow up
Sure.
quickly?
Okay, so we'll
just
go on
60 seconds each, maybe.
We could do the full 2. We'll have a super chat break after this one then. So I'll put 2 minutes on the clock for you, Andrew. Guys, get your chats in now while you can. But yeah, go ahead, Andrew. I'll put 2 minutes on the clock, and then this will be the top of the 4th round.
So notice again that this is a rhetorical flourish, but it doesn't really tell us much. He says, guys like this, well, they want you to put it to the decibel. No, I didn't ask you to put it to the decibel. I just asked you for a little bit more clarification on what these terms mean and what you're actually predicting here so that you can't hide in the vagueness, and he refuses to do so. And the reason is because he can't do it. And the reason he can't do it is because his predictive model doesn't predict shit. He says, I can predict who can win a game, but I can't give you any specifics about the game. Yes, of course, it's a game of chance. It's a game of chance. There's 2 teams, and because there's 2 teams, you always have a less than 0 chance of winning. Any fucking idiot on planet Earth knows this. He says men lie, but numbers never lie. Well, numbers aren't things. They're metaphysical concepts. Since they're concepts, they're conceptual only. They require an interpreter, so of course it's only the person who's going to lie. However, the interpreter can also just be wrong, and often interpreters are just wrong about the things that they correlate with numbers. He says people born in 1989 will have positive years. How's that quantified? Is he saying that nobody who was born in 1989 is going to have a non-positive year? No one's going to get diagnosed with cancer? Nobody's going to get divorced? Nobody's going to lose their children? Nobody's, you know what I mean? Like the list goes on and on and on of all the bad things that I guarantee you are going to happen to a lot of people who were born in 1989 and above. Guarantee it. So specifically who? Well, he can't tell you that either. He's just making a vague generalization, and then he's going to give more of the post hoc justification. How hard could it possibly be to be a little bit more specific than that? Does that mean no one's going to get cancer born in those years? No one's going to lose their children? No one's going to have the worst year of their life who was born in those years? Of course, he's now going to have to say, well, of course not. Some people are. I'm just saying that, like, vaguely, generally, more people than not won't. And so it doesn't tell us shit.
All right. Gary, I'll turn it back to you, and this will conclude the 4th round after you go.
Kanye West and Tom Brady, both born 1977, the year of the snake. Tom Brady got his big break when a Hall of Fame quarterback named Drew Bledsoe got injured in 2001, the year of the snake. He took over as the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots and won a Super Bowl that year. That started his run of being the best quarterback in NFL history. Kanye West, born 1977, was a nobody in 2001 until Jay-Z's producer had to leave. For whatever reason, they were doing the blueprint and Jay-Z's producer had to leave, and he hired Kanye. And after that, that's what sprung Kanye on his road to success. So we have 2 individuals who are megastars, born 1977, who made it big in 2021. Snake to snake. And, they also made the same mistake. They married the wrong woman. Now watch this. Let's see how interesting this is. And guess what? Do the mathematical percentages on this, Andrew. I'd love that. Kanye West married Kim Kardashian, born 1980. Whoops, didn't work. Tom Brady married Giselle, born 1980. Whoops, didn't work. So we have 2 people who are megastars in their chosen fields, who are both born in snake years, who both made it big in snake years. And guess what? They both chose a woman born in 1980, and their marriages failed accordingly. So you could say there's nothing to that. But what I would tell you is take the statistical probability that 2 of these guys born in 1977, year of the snake, made it big in the year of the snake, and that is my whole system. My system tells you this. No, I'm not going to predict what billions of people are going to do. I don't know billions of people. But what we can do is we can see the people who are in the spotlight, and we can use them as an example. And the examples I just gave you, you can't refute.
All right. Had 10 seconds more on the clock there, but I will go ahead and turn it back to Andrew. But we'll read some chats real quick. Quick super chat break.
Yeah. I'll mute my end.
Yep.
And flip screens and
sure.
just
I'll mute
I
my
can
end
hear
too.
you. So just kind of whisper in my ear when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll mute myself on this thing too. Okay, so chat. We got here. Let's see. We got 503 GT. My favorite people, you men, have been the most influential mentors these last couple of years. This is a bonus round. Let's go. Appreciate that, my friend. Everblaze says this will be the greatest debate in 2025. Gary, if you come at the king, you best not miss. Everblazer Gentile says with the 100 says Gentile donated. Appreciate that, bro. We all are. Sister Ren says Myron is literally a 22 life path. Master builder and was born on the first meeting. He's a good debater. Has natural leadership skills. Can you talk about this for a bit, Gary? Okay. I'll mention that to him. We need a show with Andrew, Gavin McGinnis, and Elijah Schaefer with Myron. Yeah, I'll go ahead and reach out to Elijah for that. Gentile, again, mind this off topic, but the Wolf guy's been talking smack about you in his space line and your name going card. Bro, dude, he's a nobody, Gentile. Like, bro, these Twitter anons are fucking losers, bro. Who cares? Dude has like 1,000 followers. Who gives a fuck? How's this guy? How's the Jay going? Andrew, a new boyfriend for wife, then impregnated her by chance, expecting Lotto's Hail Odin? What? I don't even know what that means, bro. Okay, Iron City Dollar, appreciate that. And guys, from this point forward, man, I'm gonna read only 20 and up. That way we just don't derail. How did this debate come about? They were talking on Twitter, guys, and they asked for a moderator. I said, fuck it, I'm cool with both y'all. I'll moderate it, no problem. So that's kind of how it is. Just making a numerology fact. Gary is. Let me go ahead and unmute this part. This guy says, just making a numerology fact. Gary's retarded as fuck. Also, Myron, thanks for the amazing value. It's still my life. Finding this podcast has been a blessing. Just wish you guys were around 10 years ago because I would have had so many different choices. It's okay though, I'm backing way up. And Gary, they asked a question here for you, and a lot of people here were picking you up too. I just had you muted, you didn't hear it. But one guy said, he said something about. Okay, he says Myron's literally a 22 life path master builder and was born on the first, meaning he's a good debater and has natural leadership skills. Can you talk about this for a bit, Gary?
Yeah, Myron is a 22 life path, and 22 is known as the master builder. I can give you examples of either you're a 22 in total, and do you mind if I put your birthday out there, Myron?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, he is born 2/1/1990. 2/1/1990 adds up to 22. So if you're born a 22, if your total number adds up to 22, or you're born on the 22nd, you're a person who builds other people up. Example, George Washington started America. He's born on the 22nd. Vladimir Lenin started the Soviet Union. He is born on the 22nd. So these are people who build things, whether they're architects, whether they build buildings, or like Myron, he builds other men up. So I think that describes Myron to a T. He's a 22. He builds up other people. He built this podcast out of nowhere, and it's wildly successful. This is what they do. Now, if you want me to go a little bit deeper, Myron.
Oh, no, it's okay. I don't want to derail the debate. It's just that because this guy asked, and so I figured I would, put out
Myron's
there.
also very into physical fitness. If you check, a lot of bodybuilders are born on the 22nd. People who are born in horse years, like Myron, are workaholics. Myron would agree he's a workaholic. Who's another person who's a workaholic? Kobe Bryant, born 1978, the year of the horse. And you know what else about them? They're extremely principled people. Principles and morals matter more to them than money. That's why Warren Buffett, who's born in the year of the horse, still lives in the same house he had in the 1960s, even though he's worth $100 billion. Myron, do you care about money?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Thank you.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so Andrew, I'll turn it back to you if you can hear me, and we'll get back into the next round, and you can kick it off. I think it's going to be round 5, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5, but I think it's 5. Can you hear me, Andrew?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, brother. So we'll turn it back to you because you went first last time. I'll put 2 minutes on the clock, and let me know.
Yeah, let's go ahead. So again, so what happens here is we draw multitudes of unrelated events and then kind of pretend, again, post hoc or ad hoc justification, whichever way you want to phrase it, that these things are interrelated and that we can make a predictive model based on them. But remember this, like I said in my opening statement, here we are still very vague on specifics, not really giving any specifics, but pretending like he's giving specifics. So, for instance, he says to Myron, here's the predictive model of your entire life based on some numerology nonsense that he came up with. But when I asked him a specific question, which was about people who he claims are going to have a good year based on their year date, are any of these people going to get cancer? Any of them going to have the worst year of their lives? Are any of these people going to go bankrupt? Are they going to get divorced? Are they going to have catastrophic things happen to them and look back and say, this was the very worst year of my life? He didn't actually answer that question.
Elon Musk will have the worst year.
Okay, yeah, so anyway, so it's not your turn, bro, not your turn.
I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, okay, anyway.
I'll give you 10 extra seconds.
That's not my question. My question isn't if Elon Musk is going to have a bad year. You're claiming everybody. It's everybody's good year. Everybody who's born in these years is going to be their year. So I'm asking about this everybody, this general statement of all. Are many of those people going to have the worst year of their fucking life, or aren't they? The answer has to be yes. You're going to have to say yes, and that's going to cripple your predictive model immediately. So are they or aren't they?
Okay.
Please just answer
People
yes or
who
no,
were
bro.
born
Please.
in 1971, 1983, 1995, 2007 will have some of the worst years in their life in 2025. That is specific. I do not know if they're going to have a heart attack. I do not know if they're going to break their leg. I don't know things like that because I'm not psychic, sir. But what I will tell you is they will have a bad year, whether it be finances, whether it be family. It doesn't matter.
None of them are going to have a good year? Not a single one's going to have a good year.
I would say 95% will.
Okay, based on what? Where did we come up with 95%? You just made it up, right?
No, it's not made up. I've been doing this for 20 years, sir.
So,
Okay,
so tell me mathematically, walk me through how you got to 95%.
95 because 95% of the people in their enemy year usually get hit, and that's how it works.
That doesn't tell me anything. That's an assertion. Show me the math.
The math? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll be more than happy to show you the math.
No, show it to me now. Show it to me right now.
How am I supposed to show
It's
you
your
the math?
fucking model. Just show me the math for why 95%.
For who do you want me to show?
You said 95. Yeah, 95%.
So people who are born in 1994 had bad years in 2024. People who are born in dog years had bad years in dragon years. You want an example? Sure. John Zerka fell off the face of the earth, and he's born in the year of the dog. Dr. Disrespect got hammered this year, and he's born in the year of the dog. How many people do you want me to go through, sir?
And so if I go through counter, so if I go through, so hang on, I just want to make sure I get this clarified.
He still has 30 seconds, Andrew. He still has 30 seconds.
This is how we're going to do this.
Okay.
This is money.
Okay.
This is what I'm going to tell you. Put your money where your mouth is, Mr. Christian.
Okay.
We go out in the streets, and we go up to random people. And every time I'm wrong about giving that random person a reading, I'll give you $1,000. Every time I'm right, you'll give me $1,000. You will be broke within an hour. And I'm willing, and guess what? I'll do that with anyone watching this right now. I can read people like a book. How about we start with you, sir?
All right, 2 minutes.
Would you like to start with you?
So, real quick. So,
Hang on, Myron. Just let him start with me.
Okay, I will. Do you guys want to switch this to? Seems like it's rapid fire. 60 seconds.
Yeah,
okay
that's right. Go ahead. Start
All right, so I'm gonna drop it to 60 seconds. Do you want to take your 60 minutes to respond or ask what you want to do, Andrew, before I turn it back to him because he just spoke?
No. Let him go ahead and go ahead. So tell me about me.
Okay, so let's start. Would you mind putting your birthday out there for the public?
Yeah. No. Well, I'm not going to put it out there for the public, but I did say I did give it to you.
Well, if I can't use your birthday right now, because I'm not going to put it out there unless you give me permission.
I'm giving you permission. I'm giving you permission. Go ahead.
So your birthday is 4/13/1985, correct, sir?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So you are what we call a double 4 life path in numerology. People who are 4 life paths tend to be extremely conservative. People who are 4 life paths tend to be extremely hardworking people. People who are 4 life paths always tend to be on the conservative side of politics, just like Donald Trump, who was a 4 life path. So what you're going to have to understand is most of the people who are listening to this right now, if your total numbers add to 4, you're going to be a conservative, you're going to be a hardworking person, and you're also always going to have to outwork other people. That's what you have to do, Andrew. You have to outwork everyone else to get anything in life. Nothing comes easy for you. Now let's go more specific. Since your birthday hit this year, money hasn't been too good, has it, sir? As a matter of fact, you've been getting your ass handed to you. Finances have been very bad since your birthday hit. So tell the truth, sir. Is that the truth or not?
No, it's not the truth.
Okay, so you're telling me since your birthday hit this year, you've been doing good with finances.
Made more money than I ever have in my life.
See, this is what I'm talking about. See, people don't. Could you actually prove that?
Yeah.
Okay, I would love to see you actually prove that. And if you can prove that and you actually have money now, then I implore you to take some of that money and put your money where your mouth is and show people that I'm a fraud.
Well, I want to let you. Hang on.
Hold on. Let's go out in the public.
I'm not allowed to respond or what? I thought it was 60 seconds.
Brother, let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can respond. Because you try to interrupt every time I talk, and then you take time, then you start talking.
Yeah, so I'm going to give Andrew back 2 minutes after this, Gary.
That's fine. I'm just going to say this. Put your money where your mouth is.
We just said 2 minutes.
Go out in the public, and let's put money on this. If I can't read people, let's go up to random people, and let's put it on tape.
Okay.
Let's see if I'm a fraud, sir. Are you up for it? Are you up for that challenge, sir?
Yeah, but I can just demonstrate.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for you, Andrew, and then after this, we'll go back to 60 seconds. So go ahead. 2 minutes.
So notice, he does describe me very adequately with his numerology. The only problem is that I lied to him about my birthday. So I gave him false information on purpose.
So you're a liar.
Yeah, I did lie to you on purpose.
Gotcha.
So the thing is,
you did the same.
it's my turn, sir. It's my turn.
Gary, let me just. Gary,
it's my turn. I'm sorry, I got to mute him.
Okay, Gary. Okay, I'm stopping the clock.
Gary, you are a liar.
So anyway,
guys,
it's not your turn, sir. It's not your turn.
Look, Gary, I hate to mute you. I hate to mute you. Hold on a second, guys. Calm down. I stop the clock. Let Andrew say what he's got to say, and I'm gonna give you 60 to 2 minutes, 60 seconds, 120 seconds to respond. Just let him finish his point, Gary, and then I'll turn it right back to you and give you the 2 minutes you want.
Gary is so pissed off right now because he just got done telling you how good he is at reading people, how great he is. And
so I'm starting to clock back on now, Andrew. Go ahead.
Okay. So he tailored a whole bunch of bullshit that he considered would fit with me really well. He thought that it would fit really well. Say I have a hard work ethic, that I'm conservative, this model fits to me perfectly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He tailored it to me. The only problem is that I had, lied to Gary, and I do this to psychic frauds all the time, and watch them give out these predictive models, which they are trying to tailor to me via a cold reading, and it turns out that no matter what date I would have given them, they would have given me the exact same thing. You just saw it demonstrated. We don't even need to go and give people thousands of dollars. He couldn't even do it with me. He couldn't. And by the way, if he just done basic research, he would have known that I didn't even give him the right dates. Very simple to do this. You can do this to all these guys every single day. So here's what the experiment ought to be. The experiment actually ought to be, if these predictive models work, it's not that we just go up to random people, but we go up to some people who are not random as well. So we have the game fixed, and we see how close these predictions become when we have the precognitive information as to whether or not these people are telling the truth or they're not telling the truth. How much is a placebo effect versus how much is not. On top of that, let me just kind of point out how easy it was to do this to him. It's easy to do this to all of these guys because the non-predictive models that they have are always tailored to a person interpersonally. That's how they try to convince you that their models are correct. That's why I made sure to give him just a small amount of false information so he could tailor it. And then notice he's like, it's the worst year of your life. Everybody knows the best year I've ever had in my life. Like, this is known by everyone. So it's so funny.
All right, Gary, I'll turn it back to you, and I'll give you a full 2 minutes on the clock. I just hit the ask to unmute yourself. I think you have to do it, Gary.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Let me make this clear. I never pretended that I'm a psychic. I never said I can look at people and read them like a book. I never said that. I need an accurate birthday. I need accurate information to work off. And if this man gives me the wrong date, I'm going to give him the wrong information. Based off the date he gave me, anyone born on that date would have a very bad year financially. But he said he didn't, obviously, because he gave me the wrong birthday. See, he basically is a liar. This is the same thing the Muslim did to me on Sneako's program. This is what they do. They don't stand on what they say. He cannot have an honest conversation. He has to lie. Everything he said is disinvalidated because he is a proven liar right now. If he gave me the correct birthday, I would give him the correct information. But because he didn't, I couldn't. And now he's trying to say, oh, look, I got you. No, sir, you got yourself. You're now a proven liar. You're now a proven fraud. And nothing you say anymore has any value whatsoever because you couldn't even stick with the program and give me your honest birthday so you could honestly evaluate my skills at doing what I do. Read people by their birthdays. I'm not psychic. I never said I was. And if you give me the wrong birthday, I'm going to give you the wrong information. Your gotcha moment basically made you look like a fool. Congratulations, sir.
All right. So this is just basic cold reading.
60 seconds, Andrew, or you want 2 minutes?
No, 2 minutes. So he says he's not a psychic, right? I'm not even claiming he is. I'm just claiming that he's using cold read methods. So I think that he would have tailored his numerology to whatever he thought would have favored the position of me.
That's your position.
It's my turn, sir. I didn't interrupt you once.
Just got to give him 2 minutes, Gary, real quick.
I don't understand why you can't let other people speak. I didn't interrupt you. So anyway, the thing is that's so interesting about it is that's how cold reading works. They tried to tailor. Notice all of the things which were tailored to me were things that would have been very plausible. He has a great work ethic. He has to work harder than other people. They're almost always conservatives. They're almost always on the right. Very typified of cold reading, and that's what's going on. He said, well, I'm not saying I'm a psychic. I'm saying that if I have the right information, the reading would have been different. But here's the thing. We do have Gary on record talking about what people should be having if their year was my birthday. Now, Gary, my birthday is 1984. Aren't you on record saying that people in 1984 also would be having the worst year of their life? Yes. So the thing is,
I did not say
no. So people,
that's lie number 2.
So people born 1984, you think?
I said 1983, sir. You can't.
You said 1983 and forward.
1983, 1995, 2007. It's every 12 years. See, even the people in the audience. So that's a second lie.
30 seconds.
Congratulations, you're proving yourself to be even more.
Well, anyway, so it's still my turn.
Yeah.
In any case,
don't worry. I stopped. I'm going to give you an extra 15. So you're good. Go ahead.
So in any case, right? I believe you said 1983 and forward. But this aside, he can't even contain himself. He can't even control himself because he's caught. Right? That's how cold readers get caught. They get caught like this all the time. It's very, very easy to demonstrate how they tailor to the person what they want the person to believe based on cold reading styles. And so you say, well, Andrew, that was dishonest. Well, the thing is like, no, it's just a trick. It's a magician's trick like anything else. And yes, you can use a lie to serve the interest of disproving a fraud like you would with psychics and other people like this. You'd give them false information to see if they could determine that the information was false. And if you had any type of predictive model, you could probably do that, but he doesn't.
Seconds. All right.
Again, sir.
2 minutes back on the clock for you, Gary. 2 minutes back in. Go ahead.
Again, sir, I'm going to make this very clear. I am not psychic. You have to give me the correct birthday to get the correct information out. Since you refuse to do that, that's on you. That's not on me. You can't actually. What?
No, I was going to say. I stopped the clock. Don't worry, Gary. I stopped it. Andrew, would you be okay with giving your real birthday? So
yeah,
we can. Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is
I don't know he's not going to lie again.
I think
already proven a liar.
I think he'll be pretty honorable about it.
Yeah, but the problem now with giving it is he can just tailor it how he wants to. Again,
he refuses to give me the information.
It would be post hoc justification. So the thing is like, I'll give it to you, but I just want to tell the audience that now you'll have post hoc justification, and he'll say, no, I was wrong. If I'd had this information, I would have known it was the best year that you've ever had. Andrew. So here's the information that you want. My birthday, actual birthday, honestly, to you is 1/23/84.
Okay. So Gary, I stopped your clock. You have about almost 2 minutes. So go ahead now that you have the real information. And Andrew, thank you for that.
1/23/1984 as up to 28. Sir, I'm going to ask you a specific question. I don't think you're rich, but money comes easy to you, doesn't it?
Not even slightly. I work harder than almost everyone around me.
I didn't say you don't work hard, sir. What I asked you.
No, money doesn't come easy. No.
So are you a millionaire?
Never has my whole life.
Are you a millionaire, sir?
That's not your business. But the answer is no.
No, it's not my business.
But the answer is
right?
no.
The
answer is no. No, I'm not.
Okay. So here's what it comes down to, man. People who are one-way paths like to argue. This is a one-way path. Argue starts with A. A is the first letter. You see, the English language and gematria.
Post hoc. It's all post hoc again.
Again. This guy won't fucking.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. You interrupted me 8 times. I interrupt you once.
I stopped the clock. I stopped the clock.
Don't worry, Gary. This is what I'm talking about, man. This is exactly what the hell I'm talking about.
I stopped the clock, Gary. Don't worry. You still got like a little over a full minute. So
people who are ones tend to be extremely argumentative. People who are ones have that debating mental style. So it makes sense why he likes to debate and he likes to run his mouth and things like that. Attorney, first vowel A. Lawyer, first vowel A. What do? They argue the law A. So people who are ones are extremely argumentative. And another thing about this man over here, he learns things the hard way. And if I'm willing to bet, you've had some trouble probably with alcohol, sir. I'm willing to bet a lot of money on that, bro. You've had some trouble with alcohol. You've had some trouble with women in your past because you're born on the 23rd. And he definitely does travel a lot. But see, I don't even know because he could be lying about his birthday again. This is bad faith. This is all bad faith. This is what frauds do when all he had to do was give me the real birthday from the very beginning and we wouldn't even go through this stuff. But I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to say this one more time. I am not psychic. I need real information to work off. I am not out here claiming, I don't do shit like that. This is what he tries to make me out to be. I'm not that.
10 seconds.
And by the way, I'm going to make this one more point. There's about 3,200 billionaires in the world. I know 90 of them because I give them readings in numerology. People much more successful, people much richer than you, people who have actual power in you believe in this stuff. So you're actually a peasant. It doesn't really matter what you believe.
All right. Andrew, I'll give you an extra 5 on your clock. I'll reset it. Go ahead.
Remember I said it would come down to personal insults, spurging,
after you lied,
and a bunch of post hoc or justifications, right? Guys still can't control themselves. So the thing is like, as we look at this, I just gave him the information. So what does he do? He takes known information, like for instance, Andrew Wilson drinks on stream. So he wants to correlate this.
They're alcoholics.
Anyway, so Myron, you're gonna have to mute him. The guy can't control himself.
Don't worry, I'm adding time to your clock.
He literally cannot control himself. So anyway,
every time he interrupts, I have another 5 or 10. You're good.
Yes. So in any case, I've never had problems with alcohol. I've never had to go to like some AA meeting, nothing like that. Never had a single issue. I do enjoy having a drink, but I'm not most certainly not an alcoholic. I never have been. Though I do like to occasionally have a drink on stream. So that was wrong, right? All of the predictive models, in fact, that he would give, now that we know he's cold reading, right, it's very simple for us to just ask for specifics. Well, sir, if I am, he says these general things like, oh, I bet you've had trouble with women in the past. Who the fuck hasn't had trouble with women in the past?
Me,
you know what I mean?
I've been married for 5 years.
Hold on, guys. I stopped the clock.
I don't know why.
Don't worry.
You're going to have to mute the mic. I can't get through it.
Yeah, don't worry. You're getting extra time on. You still got, he interrupted, you got like another 20 seconds out.
Yeah, but it derails if you let him interrupt. Can you just mute the mic? Can you just mute the mic?
Yeah, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll just mute each of you when the other person's talking from this point forward. I'll just do that just to be 100% fair. So, Gary, I'll mute you. You're going to mute yourself once he finishes? Go ahead, Andrew. You got another 120 on the clock.
Okay, great. So anyway, who hasn't had trouble with women in their past? He says, not me. I haven't been married for 20 years. Never had a problem with a woman before that. Yeah, fucking right. Every man everywhere has had trouble with a woman at some point, right? And when he says that, even that's not specific. What woman? In what context? Where? Was it a girlfriend? Was it my mom? Was it my sister? Was it my cousin's niece? Who the fuck was this woman? I don't know. I just vaguely think you might have had some trouble with a woman in your past. Well, no fucking shit, Sherlock. That's a great job, Detective Dipshit. Yes, every human being, every man on planet Earth has had trouble with a woman in their past. What an insanely accurate model. On top of that, Detective Dumbass over here also goes on to tell you that, well, wait a second, Andrew over here, he's an alcoholic, he's had trouble with alcohol. Based on what? Based on the fact that somebody probably told him, that guy drinks on stream sometimes. So this is all total cold read nonsense. And even when you get the right date, you still get it wrong. It doesn't matter, right? You'll get it wrong because you can't predict that the wrong date was given.
20
you
seconds.
can't get it right even when the right date is given, right? So it's all phony baloney nonsense. It always has been.
All right, I will put 2 minutes on the clock for Gary, and I will mute you, Andrew, just to be fair. Go ahead, Gary. I'll ask you to unmute. Oh, you're still muted. You have to unmute yourself.
Is that good?
Yep, you're good now. We can hear you.
Okay.
And Andrew's muted on his side.
You have to understand what this guy does. He basically is arguing in bad faith, and he's been doing it the whole time. You cannot have a genuine discussion with someone when they want to basically try to prove you're a fraud, so they go so far as to lie, as to absolutely lie. Now, how do I know people who are ones are alcoholics? Because I've been doing this for 20 years. And people who have one as their primary energy, they tend to drink a lot. And yes, I've seen a lot of people get DUIs. And yes, I've seen a lot of one life paths ruin their lives because of alcohol. That is why, if that's his actual birthday, who knows, this guy's already lied so many times on stream, I can tell that ones have alcohol issues. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. So I want to make a specific prediction for you because this clip's going to be played a lot of times over the next couple years. So the year of the pig starts February 13th, 1983, and it ends February 1st, 1984. You, sir, are born in the year of the pig. I can guarantee you the worst fucking year of your life is coming. I don't know what's going to happen if you're going to have health issues. I don't know if you're going to lose your bag. I don't know if your woman's going to leave you. I'm not psychic. But I know by the end of this year, sir, yes, humble. You're going to be humbled, and that smug look off your face that you always have, it's going to be gone. Because you're going to understand what is going on. Numerology and astrology supersedes your Christianity, Islam, all that other stuff. Because at the end of the day, the people who are the elites, the people who run this world, they follow my system, sir, not the garbage you follow.
All right, 2 minutes on the clock for Andrew. I don't know if you guys want to go into religion here, but we'll do as many rounds as you guys feel comfortable with.
It's gonna be the best year of my life. I'm sure that there will be catastrophes which happened this year, like last year, and the year before that, 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 and every fucking year that I've been alive, because that's what happens, right? People have catastrophes in their life, and that you can't account for everything, unfortunately. Perhaps a loved one will die. I've had that happen in the past. Perhaps I'll be diagnosed with a disease. That's happened to me before. Perhaps somebody else that I know will be. In fact, chances are pretty good that something bad this year will happen to me because every single year that I've been alive, and every other human being that I'm aware of, something bad that year happened to them at some point that year. I have no idea what. However, you can't really quantify these things with a metric. They're very vague, right? He says bad thing. Post hoc justification will be, I don't know what'll happen. Perhaps I'll make a post on the internet where I say, oh man, a family member of mine died and I'm really, really sad about it and it sucks. And he says, see, I told you, it's going to be the worst year of his life. They live in the vagueness. How about you ask him something specific? What? What's going to happen? I don't fucking know. How could I know? I'm not a psychic. I just make the prediction. Well, here's my prediction back to you, sir, right? My prediction back to you is that all of your years of your life are going to be worse than the last year of your life. And the reason for that is because you're getting older. And every time you get older, you're going to have like back problems. You're going to have aches. You're going to have pains. And, there's going to be all sorts of different things which afflict your life. Now, I would never try to wish harm on anybody ever. And I don't wish any harm on you. And I don't wish any harm on Myron or anything like that. And I wish you much success. I don't want you to get success at the expense of other people, but I do wish you much success in your life. Ultimately, though, again, what are the specifics behind these bad things that are going to happen to me? Well, he doesn't know. What he's banking on is like me, like every other human being, has a bad event which happens in their life. And then he could then point to it and say, see, I told you. But where's the specifics? They're nowhere. And he said, well, I give readings to, I'm almost done, Myron. I give readings to multi-gajillionaires all over planet Earth, and they all follow my system. So what? Even if that was true, it wouldn't make it true. That's basic logic. Even if every billionaire followed this system, it still wouldn't make the system true. He still hasn't demonstrated the system's true. All he's done is demonstrate cold readings and nonsense and jibber jabber. That's it. They always do the same thing.
All right. So I'll add about 26 seconds to your clock, Gary. I'll turn it back to you.
One of the things to prove of how numerology and astrology works is my life. I don't have issues with women. I never did. Because I follow numerology and astrology, so I know who's compatible with me. I don't have to go through the divorces. I don't have to go through all that bullshit. I married my wife specifically based off her numerology and astrology. And we've been good for 20 years. And guess what? I married her when I was broke. I didn't have much money. Now I'm rich as hell, but I married her when I was broke. And the fact of the matter is, my marriage worked because of numerology and astrology. As a matter of fact, I've gotten a lot of people married. There's people who basically have kids because I put them together. And their marriages are extremely successful. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Trust the person's life. Trust what he's doing. I'm a multi-millionaire. And here's another thing, Andrew. I was the first numerologist ever invited to the White House. I would like to see you get the same privilege as that. Yeah, it was the Trump White House, too. I'm no flaming real girl. So at the end of the day, if you want to better your life, if you want to find the right person, if you want to have kids, making sure they're healthy kids, you do things based off numerology and astrology. I'm going to leave with this. The royal family in England, for some reason, they keep having kids who are 11 life paths. The mathematical chances of any one number coming up in numerology are 1 in 9. And half the royal family is 11s, like Prince William, Prince Charles. All of these guys tend to be 11s. So again, this man has no idea what these work. He's honestly a pleb, man. And if you want me to make a specific prediction about you, yeah, I wish nothing ill on you. I wish you no harm whatsoever, brother. I wish you all the luck in the world, especially you're gonna need it when the snake year hits on January 29th. But you're probably gonna have issues with the family, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have a divorce in your future. So we'll see how this tape works in about 2 years, my friend.
Yeah, so here's the thing. My counter prediction, not only will I not have a divorce, that is not in my future. I can guarantee you that that's not in my future. Okay. But the thing is just try to remember a couple of things here, right? Again, with the lack of specificity. He says, man, you got to look at me as a model. I have a 20-year successful marriage. So do people who don't follow numerology. Many of them have 20-year successful marriages as well. Well, I put people together and matchmake with them. Okay, people who don't follow numerology also have very successful matchmaking careers. This is not proof that numerology works. All it is proof that you have had some successes and also follow numerology. That is basic logic. That is the basics of logic. So here, I'll just ask you, if I'm wrong about this, sir, can you just tell me real quick? There's 3 laws of logic. Do you even know what they are? Can you tell me what they are?
Go ahead, sir.
No, can you tell me what they are or not?
What I believe is logic is obviously very different than yours because you
There's
believe
no such thing as belief.
There's no such thing as belief. I believe in supply and demand, sir.
You don't know what they are, so you don't know the laws of logic, right?
Go ahead, educate us, sir. You've been lying the whole goddamn
time. I'm asking you a question. Do you know the laws of logic?
According to who?
There's only 3 laws of logic.
According to who?
Socrates.
Okay, so you want to put Socrates? That's your god. That's your idol. Fine.
Socrates, Plato, all philosophers who exist.
Philosophy isn't.
So then what laws of logic do you follow?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand is the logical laws you follow.
100%. Okay. Where there's a hole in the system, the market will come in and replace it. It's supply and demand. I believe in capitalism, sir. I don't believe in some fairy tale god. Are you vaccinated, by the way?
No.
Okay. At least you're not stupid. Congratulations on that.
All right, Andrew, I'll turn it back to you. That was 2 minutes on 147 for Gary. I mean, I don't know if you guys wanted to shift it to religion or you guys feel like that's adequate. You guys have been going back and forth for a bit.
I'm fine leaving it here. This is about the time I had slated for the debate.
Okay.
So let me just close in this.
Closing statement.
Can
you
we
guys
just get closers? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let him go first.
Well, no, I went first. So usually when he closes,
you went first, so I'll close. You went first, I'll close. Go.
Okay.
No. Usually the person goes first gets the last word.
So wait a second. You want to be the guy who goes first and the guy who goes last? How does that make any sense? How is that fair? You went first, I go last. Go, sir.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just telling you, it usually works the opposite
Whatever
way.
you say, go, sir.
And the reason for that, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll just go first.
I'll put 5 minutes on the clock for you. Is that adequate?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I'll put 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. So anyway, as you go through this and these predictive, just remember this: what we're looking at is predictive models. Okay. I'm not saying that Gary doesn't believe what he says he believes. I fully believe that he believes what he believes. I would never say anything different. I don't think that Gary would say I don't believe that Andrew believes in Christianity. I'm sure he would agree that I do. Whether he thinks it's right or wrong is a different story. Okay. So I'm not making the claim that he doesn't believe in this stuff. I'm making a different claim altogether. My claim is that as a predictive model, it's a failure because it does not pass the realm of specificity, and it does not go past the occurrence of chance. And whenever we try to get down into any type of actual specifics or clarification anytime in this debate, and I actually had a notepad up for my audience to see the entire time so that they could see as I predicted the evasion of each time I asked for specificity. It's very simple to go through these over and over and over. You, the viewer, should remember a couple of things. The first thing is that most people who claim that they have some predictive model that nobody else has don't. And that through just a little bit of logical testing, you can compare it to just basic intuition or analysis based on evidence and find that you come to various chance encounters. We actually have predictive models based around this of people doing experiments, like the Townsend experiment, for instance, where they made sure to put it up against whatever the chance ratio would be and found that it really doesn't go above chance, right? So when a person starts to say, though, things like, just look at my life versus his, this guy's a pleb, he's a nobody, blah, 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 very Wes Watson-y type stuff, right? I'm better than you, I have more money than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm a billionaire, I advise the president, blah, 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 blah. Even if all that's true, and I'm just going to concede that it is, that in every conceivable way, this guy is way more successful than I'll probably ever be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that what he's saying is correct. It doesn't mean that what he's saying is true. It just means that he's successful and also follows numerology. Also, I can point out that there's a huge amount of men who are successful who were later proven to be frauds. Lance Armstrong, all sorts of different people who were proven to have systems. Now, I'm not calling him a fraud. Again, I believe that he believes what he's saying. I'm just saying the system doesn't work. And there's a testament to how many people get rich on frauds or pyramid schemes or marketing scams or various things. Just because they have success does not mean that their system is in any way, shape, or form true. And most people bank on the fact that because you want to be like them or you want to win the big game or win the sporting events or things like this, and look at me, I've done it after all, that you will move towards that system without applying basic logic to it. He doesn't know the laws of logic, and yet he says his system is logical. It's so bad, in fact, he said that his laws of logic are supply and demand, which doesn't mean anything. It literally doesn't mean anything. It has nothing to do with logic, has nothing to do with philosophy, has nothing to do with the mathematical expression of what logic actually is. It's just zero to do with it. So all of these things, you can basically view it from a bird's eye view and recognize. When it comes to specificity, we fail over and over and over again on every metric. When it comes to logic, we fail this over and over and over again. People will often say, well, I have a logical system. How can you have a logical system if you don't even know what the laws of logic are? How can you have a system which you comparatively say is logical if it doesn't follow the 3 rules of logic? How is that even possible, right? Well, the thing is like it's not. And you can use basic inductive reasoning to figure out very quickly this is all nonsense, and you should follow anything as a predictive model other than this, because ultimately your own intuition is probably going to lead you better than anything which is stated here. Again, let me just tell you one more time. I asked for so many specifics, and I wasn't asking even for grandiose specifics. And every single time, things like, well, you've had problems with women in your life, or you've had alcoholism problems, or you've blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so general. It could apply to almost anybody, especially somebody who has, had a Drake on stream. You could easily try to make that correlation. That's what cold readers do. You say you've had women problems. You'll hear this from psychics all the time. Say the same thing in a cold read. There's a woman in your past. Like, everyone has a woman in their past, right? It doesn't really matter what it is. The vagueness is where they live. And in the lack of specificity is where they live. You, the viewer, keep yourself safe by just making sure to dial in on the specificity, and you will ultimately win. And with that, my closing statement, I have no ill will towards Gary. I'll probably never talk to him again.
That's 5 minutes.
Most people I debate, I never do. It has nothing to even do with the fact that I don't like him or dislike him or whatever. I just usually don't end up talking to people that I've debated. Sometimes I do, and it works out good, but I have no ill will. There's not going to be any harassment from me, but I am here to represent my worldview, and I feel like I did a good job.
Fair. Okay, that was 5:20 roughly. Gary, I'll give you the same amount of time as well. So I'll turn the clock on once you start going.
Andrew said that if I'm more successful, if I have more money, none of that means anything. So according to him, Michael Jordan, just because he's the best basketball player in the world and he won 6 titles, that doesn't mean anything. Just because Elon Musk has $400 billion, that doesn't mean anything. Just because Donald Trump is president of the United States, it doesn't mean anything. Because these are the top people at their profession, and he's trying to tell you all of their success means nothing. That's basically what this man just said. And he said it over and over and over. The same way you would never, why would you not go to someone, if you want a personal trainer, are you going to go to a guy out of shape like me? No, you're going to go to a guy like Myron because he looks the parts. If you're going to go and you want to learn how to be a fighter, you're not going to go to some bum on the streets. You're going to go to the top people in the profession. But he's trying to tell you it doesn't matter if they're the top people in their profession. It doesn't matter what they accomplished in life. This is what this man said over and over and over. And the fact of the matter is this: people at the top of their profession know stuff that you don't. And if you're so ignorant to think that you know more than the people who are at the top of their profession, well, maybe that's why you're in the position you're in right now. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. This is a virtual reality we live in. All this stuff isn't real. And guess what? The smartest people in the world back up what I say, including the CIA. So I'm going to make this abundantly clear. The only thing that works in this virtual reality, the cheat codes in this virtual reality, are numerology and astrology, not the shit you see in the yellow pages. That's not going to work. You actually have to study this. You have to put in time. You have to put in effort. You have to understand how this system works. And he said that it makes specific predictions. I said Elon Musk will be thrown out the Trump administration. I said he would have one of the worst years of his life. He wants me to predict what specifically is going to happen. All I'm going to tell you is I know that car is going to break down. I don't know if it's going to be the wheel. I don't know if it's going to be the transmission. I don't know because my system doesn't allow me to go there. Now, he's going to say my system is inaccurate because of it. Find me a better one, brother, and I'll go to you. See, I don't ask for your faith like these Christians and these Muslims. I ask you for your logic. That's what I ask you. Ask yourself why the richest people in the world are born on the 28th. Ask yourself this: Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Carlos Slim. All those people are some of the richest people in the world. Ask yourself why. Vanguard, the richest asset manager in the world, was founded 5/1/1975. 5/1/1975 adds to the 28th. These are people worth $11 trillion. But guess what? Andrew knows better than they do. They are obviously following this system. The Chinese know that 8 is the number of money. 28 is wealth, 8 is money. That's why they started the Olympic Games on 8/8/2008 at exactly 8:08 p.m. What happened? They went from the 15th biggest economy in the world to the 2nd in a matter of a few years. These are facts that he does not want to accept. The fact of the matter is this: go to Walmart right now, and you're going to see a whole bunch of prices that end in 8s because Walmart knows. Ask Elon Musk. He bought Twitter for $44 billion. This might be difficult for you. What's 4 plus 4, Andrew? 8. And when he started selling his Boost subscriptions in the very beginning, he sold it for $8 each. The people at the top are using this system. And I implore people, study this. I'm going to leave with this. 33 is the most influential number there is. That's why they say Jesus Christ died when he was 33 years old, because they wanted him to be associated with that energy. Look at the Wright brothers, first in flight. Look at Edison, who basically changed the world with electricity. Look at Dr. Naismith, who invented the game of basketball, 33s. When you start looking at events, you're going to see that certain numbers keep coming up over and over and over. So I'm going to ask you this. If you want to be a Bible thumper like my friend over there, more power to you. But if you actually want to do what the elite do and understand how this word works, I implore you to take your time, look into this, and understand that you never follow the crowd if you want the real truth. I yield.
All right. Good closing statements, guys. Very interesting debate. very two different worldviews, man. Where can the people find you guys? Just so the chat knows, guys, stay where you're at. I'm going to go ahead and continue the commentary. We're going to give you guys updates on what went down with the whole terrorist attack in New Orleans. Got some updates on that. And then we'll follow this up with Money Monday on Fresh and Fit. But we're all going to shift to the Myron Gaines channel, guys, right now. So come on, shifting over on YouTube. I'll drop
By the way,
link
you
in.
got to do something over there about that because I can't do raids over there. I actually asked your staff, but I've tried to send raids over multiple times.
On
to
Rumble
your
or-
YouTube.
or
Your
YouTube?
YouTube. Yeah, you got to set it so that I can do that.
Okay, are you getting off air right now, too?
Yeah.
I will stay on for you guys here on Rumble for Fresh and Fit. But I just need you to follow this.
Yo, what's up, Drunken Dwarf? You still here? What time is it? 1906? Let's see. Alright, I'm a little late. Sorry, I missed you, bro.